Hello everyone, this is Orlando from A Collector's Dream. And today I want to talk about the West Palm Beach card show that I attended on Saturday. And I put the video up the same day, so if you haven't seen it, go back and take a look at it. But just briefly, a little bit about the show. Well, before that, I got my favorite autograph card ever that I own right there, which is the Mini Minoso. So I'll let you look at that as I talk. That's my favorite card. Picked that up at the National. I just, had to have it. Minoso is one of my favorite players. He's a Cuban player, Hall of Famer, and the 53 Bowman, I think, is his nicest card, one of the nicest cards around. I'm gonna pick one. I used to have one, and I did get rid of that, but I'm gonna pick one up somehow this year. That's one of my goals, just to get the card so I could put it right next to the signed one. But anyways, at the show, it was interesting because first they said it was going to be 400 tables. There were not 400, well, there were 400 tables, but a lot of them were empty. I would guess somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 200, 250 tables, I would say. That's my guess. And as far as the cards that were there, it was a split between about 20% vintage and about 80% modern, which is pretty much what you see in most of the shows nowadays. So, but it was a bigger show than my local shows. It was about an hour, a little bit over an hour's drive from my house. So I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I went. And I got some good video there, met some good people, and picked up a few cards there. So let's talk a little bit about what I picked up. I'm gonna leave Mini on there for now, but I'll take them off in a minute. No, I'll leave them off. That's one card I always have displayed, one of the few. So, lately I've been picking up a little bit of some football and Johnny Unitas. In the last 3 shows, I've picked up some Johnny Unitas cards. So I went ahead and I picked up another one. I think that these are really undervalued, in my opinion. The football, they produce less than the baseball. And players like Johnny Unitas, he was the face of the Colts from 1956 to 1972. And, he was one of the best players in college. He was drafted by the Steelers in the 9th round. But he later went on to play with the Colts in 1956 as a free agent. And Johnny Unitas is one of the best players. His greatest moment was in the 1958 NFL championship game against the Giants, where he beat them. And it was the NFL's first overtime game. So to me, he's, one of the best, if not one of the best ever, especially in his time. Johnny Unitas was just, an incredible player. He was selected to 10 Pro Bowls, and that's when the Pro Bowls were Pro Bowls. Let's look at the back of the card here. It says Johnny Unitas, one of the all-time great quarterbacks in professional football. Johnny holds the National Football League record with 2,272 complete passes. The Fancy Flinger set a Colt record with 255 pass completions one season back in '67. It says Johnny holds a record by throwing TD passes in 47 consecutive games. So, I mean, that's incredible. And this is a tough card to get in good condition because of the colors, of course. You tend to get the chipping there, but it's a beautiful card with the beautiful color, the orange with that blue with the Colts logo. And a lot of them you could see the in the back, because the black shows so much. You could see, this one's got a little tiny bit of chipping over here, but I mean, look, a little bit in the corner, but overall, it's in great condition. And it was about $20. I think it was $20 something. So it was kind of stuff I'm gonna pick up when I see it, especially if it's nice shape. And this one looked like it was in good shape. So I figured, let me go ahead and pick up another Johnny Unitas. That's the third one that I've picked up in the last 3 shows. Cheap ones like this. But anyway, so I'm gonna move on to my next pickup. And my next pickup, I really have to thank very much one of my subscribers, one of my followers here on YouTube. And I met 3 people from YouTube that are my subscribers, and those are just, that's incredible, because it's just one of those things I never expected. And then this was my next pickup, and it was a 45-46 Caramelo Deportivo Cuban League card. And these were made in Cuba. And these are very, very rare. And one of my subscribers, Victor, was at the show, and he is one of the top collectors in Cuban cards. That's really what he focuses on. And we talked. I enjoy talking to him because that's one of the things I like to collect more of. I have some, and I have things that he wants, which is the rarest Cuban cards, the Cuban Cabanas, 1909 Cabanas. And those are extremely tough to find. But these are very, very difficult to find. And this is where you have all of the good players, the Miniminoso rookie, the Martin Dihigo, and all those top Cuban players, and not just Cuban players, but this set also has, Adolfo Luque, and I said Martin Dihigo. It's got Luis Tiant Sr., it's got Ray Dandridge, Ray Brown. So it's got a lot of Negro League players in there. And it's a very, very, very rare card. As far as, the total cards that have been graded in this entire set, and it's a 100-card set, is 1,000 cards. 1,052 is what it says here. And when each individual cards, there are some that's less than 10 graded. So this is the Dick Sizzler card, and it says Primera Base, establecido nuevo récord en los campeonatos cubanos, bateando 3 jonrones un mismo día. So basically it says he established a new record in the Cuban Championship. He hit 3 home runs in one day on January 23rd, enero 23. Un día antes, día 22, se llevó la cerca de right field. And it says on the previous day, the 22nd, he hit it over the fence in right field. So that's Dick Sizzler. And the Dick Sizzler card, it's one of the American players there, and there were American players that went to play in Cuba during this time. And you can see that this was, it says back here, it was in January. See, enero 23, that was in January. So what they would do is, for off season, they'd go to Cuba and play. It was still warm over there, so a lot of the major leaguers went over there to play, and they made cards over there. These are the Cuban cards, and these are caramel cards. And just to give you an idea, the Dick Sizzler, this one here, PSA has graded a total of 10. So I want to thank Victor for, basically he was there, and he said, I'll give you the card, you can have it. And I'm like, no, I felt bad. I couldn't just keep the card. And he was giving it to me, so I gave him some money for it, because it's, it's a rare card, and I don't have any cards from this series, the Caramelo Deportivo. I don't have any of these, and this is my first card from there. And it says here, obsequio, that means a gift from Caramelo Deportivo, and these are candy. These are extremely rare, as far as they're very thin, almost paper thin. So the quality and the condition of these cards, you know, I don't know if you can see it. It's very, it's like paper thin almost, you know. So just to give you an idea, there's only, of all the 1,052 cards that exist in this set, there's only, the pop report says there's only 9 graded higher than a 3. 9 graded higher than the 3. And the highest graded, there's 1 graded a 5 in the entire population of this card. That's how difficult these are. And this one's in great shape. So I wanted to show you this. And again, I want to thank Victor for this. This is the 40, 45, 46 Caramelo Deportivo, Cuban League, a Cuban card. And you know, let me tell you a little bit about Dick Sisler. He's not a Hall of Famer. He did play for a long time. I'm gonna pull up some information real quick on him because he was the son of George Sisler. And George Sisler was a old-time Hall of Famer. And not only that, but he also, his brother, Dave Sisler, also played in the major league. So Dave Sisler, Dick Sisler were the brothers, and the father was George Sisler. So that's a little bit about him. He played for about 8 years in the majors. He played in the minors, and he played in the majors. He was, you know, an average player. His stats here, let's check out here, was he was he batted 300 a few years though, but basically he was a 280s hitter in the majors for about 8 years for a few teams. And it's a little bit about Dick Sisler there. But there's his Caramelo Deportivo card. So that's my second pickup at the show. And my third pickup at the show was this. There's Nellie Fox Red Heart. And I just couldn't pass this up. He had it there for $50. I offered him $40 and I got it. For $40, I'll take a Hall of Famer Red Heart. And it was such nice condition. I love these Red Heart cards. You know, and if you look at it, it's just beautiful. There's nothing wrong with it there. I've checked it all out. I know what the issue is. The issue is one of this corner in the back. I'll show you in a minute. But you can't see from the front. And it's a beautiful image of Hall of Famer Nellie Fox. Nellie Fox was an awesome player. You know, Nellie Fox made his debut in 1951. He played for 11 seasons. He was elected into the All-Star game. And I'm just going to read real quick from his Hall of Fame plaque. So he started in 1947 and ended in 1965. And it says on his Hall of Fame plaque, Jacob Nelson Fox Nellie, sure-handed second baseman and skillful batsman, was a catalyst for the go-go White Sox of the 1950s. A 12-time American League All-Star who never struck out more than 18 times in a season. His strikeout to at-bat ratio being the third best all-time. Once went a record 98 games without a strikeout. I mean, can you imagine that, especially nowadays? He continues to say he played a record 798 consecutive games at second. He led the league in hits 4 times. He led the league in putouts 10 times, in fielding percentage 6 times, and in 1959 he won the Most Valuable Player honors by helping Chicago to first flag in 40 years. So that's Nellie Fox, Hall of Famer. You know, he's just an incredible player. And I couldn't help but picking that card up. And I'll show you the back of it. It's the Red Heart dog food. And the only thing that I found is it has like an indentation in the corner here. Oh, see that? some type of indentation in the back, but you can't really see it in the front. And that's what downgrades that to a 3. But look at that card. It's a beautiful card. There's nothing wrong with it. So I'll take that 3 any day. It's off-centered, but other than that, it's beautiful with beautiful blue background. For $40, I'll take it. And again, in the back it says the Red Heart dog food, and it talks about Nellie Fox. And what I love about these cards is it has a nice bio here of the player. It has his information, and it has his whole fielding information here from 1953 in lifetime, and his batting. So it's a well-made back, and you know, a lot of times you don't look at the back of the card, but it has all the information you need to know. And of course, it's got the Red Heart Big League dog food. But when you look at these type of cards, back in those days, you know, kids would love that because you didn't have the internet, you had no information, and here, boy, you have everything. Not just the batting, but you also have the fielding. And some information to him, and traded, and in 1952 led the AL in at bats. So those are awesome data. Really well-made cards. I like these Red Heart dog food cards, so I picked that up also at the show. And my last and my biggest pickup there, and I spent a total, it was less, I think it was about $260, because, you know, one other thing about the show I did not like, it was $10 to get in. Usually the shows here are free. And then you had to park, and the parking there was $10 also, because you had to park in the garage there next, you know, it was part of the convention center. So it was $20 just to get in, you know, and then, you know, I had to drive a ways and all that. So that's not really a complaint, but a little bit of a complaint, I guess. So anyway, my biggest purchase there was from one of the nicest dealers that I've ever met, and that's Nate Adams from the Coop. So I want to show you his card first of all, and you'll check him out in the video. He's in the video there, and give him a quick shout out there. But this is what I bought from him. He had some beautiful T206 cards there, and I ended up buying this, and it's Rube Marquardt. And I like to have a card of all Hall of Famers. You know, I mean, it's not something that I'm, you know, a goal, but it's always something nice to have a card of all Hall of Famers, or most of the Hall of Famers. And he had this there. He had a couple of them, you know, a little bit higher graded. And he had this at $250, and you know, I offered him $200, and he gave it to him for $200. So I think it was a pretty good deal. I'm happy with it. You know, it's just, you know, rounded corners at the Piedmont. It's, you know, it's not a bad 1.5. It just doesn't have the creases. It doesn't have the creases in the middle of the card. It has a couple of creases up here. You can see them right there, and I think it has another thing here. And, you know, rounded corners, but the main image, and that's what I look at, and the colors and all that. For a 1.5, I thought it looked good. I didn't have a Rube Marquardt card, so I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and pick it up. Let's take a good look at that Rube here. So I went ahead and figured, you know what, I'll go for it. So a little bit about him. I'm just going to read a few things. I'm also going to read his Hall of Fame plaque. Richard William Marquardt, Rube. He played for New York, and that's the one, New York National League, Brooklyn, Cincinnati, and Boston from 1908 to 1925. He was a 3-time 20-game winner with the Giants championship team of 1911, 1912, and 1913. So he led that team in those 3 years. And this is a 1910 card here from him. Well, 1909. It's a T206, 1910 it says on there. He tied the all-time record with 19 victories in a row while winning 26 and losing 11 in 1912. So incredible. He won 19 games in a row. He led the National League in winning percentage and in strikeouts in 1911. He tied for the most victories in 1912. He hurled a no-hit game against the Dodgers in 1915. So, and one of his quotes is, "Any hitter can hit a fast one, but not many can hit the slow ones." Rube Marquardt. And he had an 18-year career, and he was a great pitcher. And when he first started, it says here that his career began in 1908 with the New York Giants, and he was a big prospect at the time. And they purchased his contract from Indianapolis for a then record $11,000. He became known as the $11,000 Beauty and made his debut at the age of 21. But initially, he didn't live up to the lofty expectations, winning just 9 games. And then he became known as the $11,000 Lemon. But in 1911, however, his potential was realized as he won 24 games and led the National League with 237 strikeouts. That season started a 3-year run of success for both Marquardt and the Giants. He won at least 20 games each of the 3 years and helped the team to the World Series each year. Marquardt began the 1912 season with 19 straight victories, a modern era record. He finished the year with 26 victories and added 2 more in the World Series, though New York lost to Boston. With the success came increased fame for Marquardt. He married a vaudeville star, Blossom Seeley, and the two performed their act across the country. He won 23 games in 1913, and in 1915 threw a no-hitter in the first outing of the season. Later, his contract was sold to Brooklyn, where he pitched for the next 6 years. He posted a career-best 1.58 ERA in 1916 and appeared in 2 more World Series. Marquardt's career ended in 1925 with the Boston Braves. So he ended up with over 200 career wins, a 3.08 ERA, and almost 1,600 strikeouts. So, a true Hall of Famer, Rube Marquardt. Didn't have any of his cards. I needed to get one, so I was able to pick that up at the West Palm Beach show. So that is the Rube Marquardt T206 I picked up. I say Mr. Rube. Didn't have his card, so I figured I'd pick that up. I really enjoyed dealing there with Nate from the Coop. And I really want to thank Victor for getting me my first Caramelo Deportivo card. And thank everybody for watching my videos. Truly appreciate it. Give you one more look with my favorite autograph card. I'm in Minot, so I picked up at the National. Just got to give that card another look. So, thank you guys. Thanks for watching my videos. I'll see you at the next show. I'll also be trying to visit some more card shops, and I'll be showing more of my collection in the next few videos to come. So, truly appreciate your support. Please subscribe and like. That really helps me out, especially the subscribers. It's just awesome to hear from you. So go ahead and give me a shout out there and give me a comment and let me know how I'm doing and what you'd like to see in my videos. So thank you very much, guys. Have an awesome day. This is Orlando from A Collector's Dream.